What's going on today, guys? Today, we're finally doing it. We are building the flatbed for the Ford Ranger. Let's get started. A couple of quick updates since you guys last saw the truck. So previously I had these stupid taillights that were actually from this truck on here. I swapped these out for some trailer taillights that I already had, as well as I threw some pods in for reverse lights. These are awesome. It makes backing up super easy. As well as I did need to go pick up a transmission for that car, unfortunately. So I did just quickly throw something like this together just so that I could throw it in the bed on here and just scoot off because it was about 70 miles away. I would have taken that, however, that decided that it needs spider fuel injectors. So it's a fun time. So now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to remove this and then I'm going to need to remove the original bed. With the original bed removed, we're going to probably remove another couple of pieces off the frame, as well as I do need to change the rear shocks. So we're going to get cooking on that right now. Some slight rust. So now that we have the bed off, I'm going to take this opportunity to do the shocks, just because these are, as you see, they're really tucked up underneath there, and these things are just junk. So I'm probably going to end up having to cut off the bottom bolts on both sides, but thankfully I have access to the uppers. Now, the uppers, I'm not feeling good about these. I think that these are going to come off. I think they're going to snap, and I think it's going to be a huge pain where I'll probably have to cut it and then drill it, and it's just going to be a chore. So I'm going to get working on that now. Okay, perfect. So we've got the old bed completely off, everything cleaned up as much as possible, both shocks done. I'm gonna hit the whole frame up with some rust stop. I had previously went through and did some truck bed liner on the side. I might do that again in the future, but I'm not gonna do it today. I'm just gonna use the rust stop here. I got 2 cans of it. Try to get as much of this as possible just to put something on it, and then we can start doing measurements and get ready to cut up the wood. Okay guys, now that we have the frame painted at least to where I want it to be at, we need to start making some measurements because we need to start cutting up all the wood. So what I did is I got 6 12-foot, I believe it was 5/8 by 6-inch boards. This bed is 72 inches long, or I should say it was 72 inches long, but this is a short bed truck, not a long bed, and they call it a super cab. So if I measure out everything right here, sorry, you guys are gonna be right there. Yep, so from letting it hang right there to right there, we are looking at 72 inches. Okay, so 6 inches divided by 72. Basically, I figured out that I needed 12 boards. I got 6 12-foot sections. I'll cut them in half. Makes it a little bit easier. I think the boards were $7 or $8 a piece for wood, for treated wood, because that's what we've been going with. So I need to take a couple of measurements. First, I need to measure from eyelet to eyelet, because I also got a 4x4 section to give us a bulk of the height, so that I'm not stacking like a ridiculous amount. So eyelet to eyelet looks like it's about 30 inches in the rear. Just gonna verify that in the front. And let's see, if we go all the way, it's 31 side to side. Hold on a minute, let me see. This back may have bent a little bit. Yeah, so 31, yeah. Okay, so if we take a 1/2 inch out of either side, that means 30 inches front and rear from side to side. So we'll write that. Frame 30 inches wide. Okay. So from there, we're gonna try to get this bed as flat as possible. So I need to take a measurement from the ground. Since we just changed the shocks, tires are all mounted up. It'll be a little bit easier to do this. So we are looking at, let's call that 27 3/4, right there. Now the rear is gonna be higher because we don't have a bed. It's 30. So 27 3/4 and 30. So we'll do front. Here. 7 3/4, rear is 30. Perfect. So from there, then we just need to make sure that we measure out everything to be straight and true. This is going to end up working out. So since this is 27 3/4 in the front and 30 in the rear, that means I can put the 4x4 directly across on the rear. I needed to get a little bit of height to clear those. So now I'm just going to cut up basically just like a 2x2 section of the 2x4. And be able to basically add a spacer and then put the 4x4 on top of it to give me exactly what I'm looking for. So that should be super nice, super easy to do. It'll give us clearance for all these connections, and it'll make everything super nice and pretty. I think we're gonna go all the way to the rear on this. I was originally gonna go onto the front, but I don't want any interference with that canister valve. It'll just make everything a lot easier if we just go directly to the very rear of it, and we shouldn't have any interference. What's going on today, guys? It is a brand new day. We've moved into the garage where we're going to start cutting. So I've already went ahead and sectioned out. We need 6 3-inch little spacers, as well as I did also section out the 4x4. So I'm going to start cutting these up so that we can go ahead and get everything mocked up here onto the back end of the Ranger. Awesome. Okay, so the rear one is going to just go directly on here. We ended up cutting it directly to the size of the frame. And then up front, as you can kind of see, there's not enough room due to the connectors to the fuel pump. So we made these little spacers that basically are just an additional 1.5 inch. That should space it up pretty much perfectly, right? Like this right here. And keeps everything nice and straight. And then that gives us a perfect start to the bed. So unfortunately, we were going to do a third one right here. However, it's still contacting a little bit right there, as well as it's just a touch short. So we aren't going to be doing that on this go. Now, we need to set up the verticals to see where we are going to need to cut. Right there, right there. Perfect. There we go. Let's grab a little bit of air. Move my coffee. Okay, so now that we've got this mocked up, I do want to sink a couple of screws into it so we can start actually getting this good. I'm going to be pre-drilling everything to make it really nice. So I selected a bit. This is an 1/8 inch bit for 8 by number 2 screws. We're just going to real quick test it to make sure that this hole's not too big. I'm sure you can look it up, but this is just something I've got right on hand. It feels nice. Let's see. Perfect. Yeah, no issues whatsoever. So, throw that over there. So, also importantly, so with how we have everything designed, at least as of right now, I'm not going to go directly up against the back of the cab. I do want a little bit of space so that there's not any contact with the cab in the bed. So as it sits right now, we are sitting at 70.5 inches. So with that being said, I can add an additional 1.5 inches, and I probably will, to the end here to allow that to give a little bit of an overhang. Again, since what we are doing is we bought 6 12-foot boards, so we're going to cut them directly in half. And 72 divided by 6 happens to be 12. So we're going to have 12 of those pieces, and then they're going to be all stacked up. So I don't want 1.5 inches of just the decking overhanging. I'll put the 2x4 and the decking just to make sense. So what I'm going to go through now, though, is I'm going to go through and sink these in. I'm going to sink them in the corners because we are going to put a big long through bolt through the entire thing once we are done. So you can also get a bit that gives you that like a beveled edge so that the screw sits nice in there. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those, but that would be a really nice piece to really, really make the entire bed super, super nice. And I'm going to do this at all 4 corners. Right, now that it's one piece, it should be actually pretty sturdy as of right now. Again, we don't have it. We don't have everything bolted down just as of yet. However, not a big deal. We're going to keep moving forward and working on this, at least as of right now. So what we need to do next is we need to mark the additional 1.5 inches at the rear to be able to come back over here, cut off the excess, and make it a much more workable surface. Perfect. Now that we have everything here, I'm actually going to pull the bed off. We need to affix the spacers up front to the bottom of that front 4x4. What that's going to allow us to do is that's going to allow everything to be one cohesive piece up front. And then when we go to start drilling for the actual lag bolts, we'll be able to make sure that we're being pretty accurate. Now we have it flipped over. Now we're just going to go ahead and drill. Since these are a bit smaller, I'm probably going to do 2 on each side first. Like do the first 2 individually, I should say, and then go back and do the other 2. All right, getting everything lined back up exactly where it needs to be. Really the best way that I'm going to do this is I'm just actually going to mark on the bottom side where the hole is. So for example, in the back here, I can reach in and find it right here and just simply color that with a construction pencil. This is going to give us a really good idea of exactly where everything needs to be as far as the hole goes. And there's not really another way you can be more accurate. You can try to do a tape trick, which I've seen. However, this is just going to be the easiest route for us. So this is going to be the route that we're going to go. The hard one's going to be up here, just because there's so much going on that it's going to be a little difficult to sneak my hand in there, but we'll get her figured out. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to grab a dab of grease and I'm going to stick my finger underneath there and just bop it so I can see exactly where the hole is. As you can see, the marks turned out great. That is the grease mark, which works out perfectly for everything that we need. Here's the rear one, and here's this one. The reason why I did it this way is I wanted the structure to be nice and rigid so that it was 100% true. I could have went back and pre-marked it with, say, you know, just working with these individual pieces, but I wanted to mark them all out correct. Now what I'm going to do too is, just for that last bit of extra insurance, I'm just outlining it in the pencil, and then I can go back, remove the grease, and color it in. Awesome. What we're also going to do real quick is we are going to go up in 3 stages. I'm going to use the tiny 1/8 inch, and then I go step up. I think this is like a 3/16, it's a little dirty, and then going all the way up to the 1/2 inch on the actual drill. All right, now that we have the frame completely done here, and the bolts are in at least, so it's pretty rigid already, but it's going to get much more rigid. Now we have to go back and cut up all of the actual decking. Again, since these are 144 inches long, we need to cut them in half. The 6 inches, 6 divided by 72 should be 12, so we need 12 planks. It should work out to be pretty decent in that regard. Perfect. Okay guys, so while I was cutting up everything, I realized the planks aren't a true 6-inch, unfortunately. They're only about 5.5. So I ended up being one plank short. So I ended up having to run to the store. And then while at the store, I kind of made the decision. Let me flip back around here. I'm going to add a brace right here of just a 2x4. The compression of everything should actually keep it nice and taut, and then as well as I'll drill it in. I'm also going to add a block base right here where it's kind of similar to the spacers, and then I'm going to add one more across here with another 4x4 brick. So I need to cut all that up, and then we'll be able to get into almost the final assembly. I did have to knock out all the pins as of right now because the top piece is actually going to, like the decking, I'm going to put those through that. So it should clean it up and make it look pretty nice. Looks like I'm gonna have to take it up just a touch, maybe 1/8 of an inch. Yep, that should do it. It is okay if it's just slightly off. In this instance, if I grab my hardware down here, I did go ahead and grab a carriage bolt. However, I also grabbed a 5/8 washer. So all I'm going to do is still fit it down there, and then it's going to have a little bit of the bite from the carriage head, but then it's also going to have the finish of the top piece as well. Okay, same thing on this side. I did go ahead and loosen up that side real quick, and it looks like, okay, so we're pretty far off on this one. Let's see if I'm gonna define it right there. This is right on the edge. Okay, let's do the top piece. Where's she out? Right there. Okay. So we say right there is that. Okay. Oh, there she is. Again, there's that. It felt like it was up a touch, but that should be okay right there. Okay. Perfect. We are in good shape. Okay. Well, here's how she sits right now. So we've got all the baseboards down. I'm gonna have to peel up either this one or this one. I'm waiting on some stuff to come in so I can put a filler neck over there. But I need to come through and all of this is gonna be chopped off so it matches the other side. And I think it'll be pretty good because see right there how it's like pretty much right in line with the bumper. And then this one, well, maybe it needs to come over like that right there. Yep, pretty much in line with the bumper. So I'm gonna fix a couple of screws just to hold those in place. And then I'm gonna cut the end off. I need to build some supports from side to side. I'm probably also going to build a board across the back there, pretty much to just stiffen everything up. And then we'll probably put some vanity boards with the extra planks that I have on the sides and on the back as well. So, all right, we're gonna keep working. All right, guys, so today's a special day. It's another day, but today, hopefully, we'll be finishing up the Flatbed Ranger. So what we're gonna be doing is I'm going to be using a marine gas cap. I am aware that I'm gonna put something over top of this just because these are prone to leaking. They just have like a simple O-ring that enters into them. And let me see, I should have two of the keys here, but this is what I'm gonna use here. I don't really like the idea of hooking up just like a standard filler. It's kind of just not going to work in my opinion. So this is what it's going to end up being. It's the exact same size. I've already checked it. As well as I am going to hook up a something for the vent. So I'm actually probably just going to go with some PVC tubing for that, just that I can uncap at the exact same time. Should let the tank fill up super quickly and shouldn't have any adverse issues. And then I have just a simple cap to cap that as well. When it's all done. So I've already disconnected, at least from the actual fuel portion of this, the old filler neck. I just need to disconnect the actual piece right here. However, it's just a little rotted on, so probably have to put this in the vise here in a little bit. But we're going to drill real quick, and it looks like, interestingly enough, this should fit down pretty much directly right here. So I think it's going to have a little bit of an overhang, but really not much. So I am probably going to drill right about here, and we'll send that through, and then we'll clamp that on, and it should be pretty easy. This is 25 bucks off Amazon. I quickly threw a spring washer on there, so we'll see if this works. Awesome. Okay, fuel filler is installed. I just cut the factory hose with a knife and a hose cutter, and that's what gave me that finish. Looks like this comes with a couple of finishing screws as well. I think they are in the cab. But yep, this is an example right here of the key that just opens and closes it. Real nice and easy there. And what I may do, I'd really like to use the flush ones on this. I'm still going to ground this just to make sure it doesn't have any issues, even though it shouldn't have any problems. I'll ground it and then just put it on the bottom side right there and clean up the clamp. So. We'll deal with this in a little bit because I'm trying to think about my way through here on how I can fix this issue. As right now, it's not. It's this is probably gonna, oh, I guess. Let's see if I can snake it through. Nah. I'm probably just going to buy a new one of these just because this looks terrible. As well as I'd really like to not blow up when I'm filling up with gas if I can avoid it. So in the meantime, I will wedge this underneath there, but I'll probably go like tomorrow and grab a ground strap. Most of your regular auto parts stores just sell them. So they're a couple bucks. Definitely not bad. Oh, come on. There we go. Perfect. And like I said, I'm going to replace that one right there. And then this will probably end up somewhere in the neighborhood there. So I need to put this in, and actually I should mark it with the pencil just to make sure that everything is good. Oh, that's beautiful right there. Okay, so, all right, in line with this and then right there. Perfect. Okay. We want the smallest possible fit to have this. Ooh, that one feels nice. I think this is the smaller of the two. Let's see. Oh, still uses the big one. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go change this out. Just like that. And that'll be totally fine for everything that I've got going for it, because pretty much all I'll have to do is when I need to fill up, go ahead and unscrew this cap, just like that. That's the vent. Okay, and then I can go ahead and do the gas as well. So I've ordered a marine hatch. It's not here yet, but ideally that'll go over this entire area, and it should sit pretty much flush. I mean, it might sit maybe an inch up. What that's going to do is that's going to allow this to look much better, but also then I don't have to worry about water or anything, and then I can continue to use this as an actual flatbed rather than worrying about anything else. So awesome. But fuel stuff is done. While getting ready to do the last couple of pieces on this, I was going together and putting together a list of everything that I need. So I am going to run cross braces across the back of the bed right here, kind of like just a 2x4 material, and I'll run the entire length. However, I need to take a look to see exactly where I'm going to need to notch everything. So I know I'm going to do one at the front and the rear at least, and then I need to clear the leaf spring hanger. So all I'm going to do is basically just mark out where this is going to be, pretty much right there. Okay. So, and since this is going to be at the top, all I'll do is once I get everything done, I'm just using this for an example. So I'm not going to go directly above the tire because I don't want any interference. However, what I do want to do is I want to go right in before and right after the rear tires. So there's two. There we go. All right, and now I just need to move to the back. Actually, we got that wedged pretty well. Oh, okay. Then go right here. Okay, and then we need to wedge down here, probably right about there. The only problem is going to have to be the estimation of this. So this is 5.5. Let's take a look. Yep, 5.5. Okay, let's see. So that is about 5 inches. Yep, so we just need to probably take out 3/4 of an inch just to be safe. Should be the exact same on the other side. So I'm gonna get to cutting on this, and it's probably gonna be dark by the time I get back to you guys. All these puzzles I never could fix. Summon someone to do the trick. I've been waiting All right, guys, all the wood's cut. Time to finally get this thing done. Went and picked up the ground strap, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this panel real quick. There we go. Also, we're going to go ahead and try to get this bolt in for the frame. Let me see, because it is very, very tight underneath here. So I got to try to get this in. I think it's going to be, yep, yeah, I've got access to it right there. And fun, fun. Probably gonna have to stack washers to get this bolt on, just because unfortunately with where it's at, I had to switch to a bolt head so I can tighten it. And then in the midst of doing that, the threaded portion is significantly less. So just if it's not one thing, it's the other. Let's see, and there's a harness right there too, of course. So, let's see, now we're gonna have to try to pop that harness off of. Where's it at? Oh. Okay, I think we're good. Yep. we go. Okay. Don't know if I can. Yep, I think those are gone forever. Okay. Sweet. One huge thing done. One more to go. That's exactly what you don't want to do. Unfortunately, it looks like the new one's a little bit shorter, so I'm gonna have to do what I didn't really want to do, but well, actually, let me see. Let's double check. Because ideally, if I could go right there, I don't think it's gonna fit. No, okay. Not a huge deal. We will simply zip this one back. And, yeah, got a little bit of wiggle room there. Okay. There we go. There we go. Cool. That one's done, so now I'm going to slide that panel back in. One of the last things that we have to do is we have to put these tow hooks on. These are about probably one of the things I've been looking forward to the most with this entire project. So let's throw them in, and then we can mount the lights, and we're done. All right, well, like I haven't done this already a million times in the course of this video, I am doing yet another way on how to find a bolt hole. Let's see, is it right? Should be right, yeah, there we go. It's pretty much lined up directly, and where's the top of it? Probably right there. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's going to be the bottom. There. Okay. I have to do something weird just because these bolts are a little short and I don't have anything else that works. I've got to actually open up the back side just a touch for the nut. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. Okay. So these should just slide in. Here's the hope and the bolts are perfect. If they are, this job becomes a lot easier. Okay, it's money. They need to be opened up a little bit more, or maybe I have, oh, never changed the bit out. That would be it. Look at that. Boom. That looks good. Boom. All right. Well, that's it, guys. The flatbed on the Ranger is done, at least for now. So we do have the taillights and everything all hooked up. Everything's working. I did put in a new license plate light, and then I had to figure out some stuff in the front, like My CV axle apparently exploded, but got that all back together. And potentially might have a TPMS issue. We'll see. I cleaned out the whole thing. Unfortunately, this thing has a really high idle. I tried to fix it. I did a tune-up on it. Pulled the TPMS off, but I may have crushed the springs, so we'll see. We're going to roll the dice on that one. But until next time, we do have more plans for this. We are going to paint the bed with a specialized paint. So that'll probably be next time, though. We're not going to be doing it, obviously, tonight. But yeah, you guys will see it on the next video. All right, thanks. Subscribe.